Hey guys, Comet here. Welcome to episode 14 in my Spaced Out series, where in the last episode, I migrated several duplicants over to this new planetoid, and started a little colony. So, plans for this episode, I want to get some more oil wells on top of all of these oil reservoirs down here, and conquer the oil biome on this planetoid. So the first thing I need to do is get this ethanol under control. And the way I plan on doing that, I'm just gonna seal off this whole section here, like this. That way all of the heat stays down in the bottom of the map. And then I'm gonna need to pump out all of this liquid down here before I start digging down into the hotter sections. Otherwise, all of this gaseous ethanol will be too difficult to deal with. I have to get it pumped up into some liquid reservoirs. And since it is going to be warm down here, I might also want to relocate this heavy joint plate so no heat can leak into the base. And the other benefit to completely sealing off the whole lower section, I don't need to make individual little capsules around the oil wells. I can just let them dump the oil onto the ground and off-gas all of their natural gas into this big room down here in the bottom. And I did also say I'd be looking for new duplicants from the printing pod. So let's see if any of these have... No, it doesn't look like they do. I'm looking for duplicants that have suit wearing. And if I happen to find one in this episode, then they will be named after a member of the Discord that has the Patrician status. And if you're curious on how to get promoted to the Patrician role, all you have to do is confirm your YouTube subscription by sending me the name that you subscribed with. There's no way to automatically link YouTube subscriptions with Discord. You can do that with YouTube memberships, but I don't really have that yet. I guess right here is as good a place as any for the pumps. I want to take all of the ethanol that these pumps make and output it this way. And that might actually be a little too close together if I want to do it this way. I think I need a gap of 1 between each pump. Okay, so here's how it will work. All of the liquids will go up this way into this tank up here. That'll be the water and salt water that's down here. And I guess a little bit of oil too. And then any ethanol that these pumps might pick up will be filtered out and sent this way, where I can put it into some containers up here. And it's important that I get the ethanol into some containers right away. That way I can use them to generate power. Because once I get all of these oil wells going on all of these reservoirs, it's going to be taking quite a bit of power. So I can use all of this ethanol to start making some petroleum so that I can then start making unlimited power. So while they get all of that finished off, I guess I can go over kind of my plan here. I have all of the producers and consumers mapped out. So I've got 5 oil reservoirs that all take 1,000 grams per second of water, and they will produce 33.3 grams of natural gas and 3,330 grams of crude oil. Now, if I can convert the crude oil into petroleum at a 1-to-1 ratio using a petroleum boiler, then I can get 8 petroleum generators going. But if I just use the standard refinery machine, then I can only have 4. And so that changes some of the numbers here, and I'm actually water negative. But once I get my hands on some space materials to make a petroleum boiler, then I will be water positive. Or, if I find it to be too difficult to get space materials, or taking too long, I might tap into some of this magma to make a magma-based petroleum boiler. Now, there is a possibility, because I'm going to be making so much carbon dioxide, that I can run a slickster farm, and then remove my bristle blossom farms here, and we are almost water positive when I do that. Okay, so all these pumps will get this cleaned up eventually. I may want to fill up some of these divots here, just to coax the water over these pumps. So while all of these are working, I need to get the petroleum generators and natural gas generators planned out. This equipment here is kind of in the way. I might be able to get them to fit over here. So let's see here. If I had enough steel, I can make a hot room then all of the polluted water would be turned into steam and dirt, and I wouldn't need to run it through a sieve. But I don't have enough steel for that yet. So I think I'll just use copper, and it's 8 generators, and then 2 natural gas generators. And I think for batteries, I'll just put them in here, where it's going to be kept cool. Oh, wait a minute, I need space for a pump. Okay. I think I'm going to flip this. I will put the petroleum generators on top. That way I can fit the natural gas generators here, on top of some mesh tiling. I can put a liquid pump down here. I'll need some batteries to control power flow. And I may need some gas pumps. Let me see. So this says I'll be producing 4,000 grams of carbon dioxide per second, and a gas pump can move 500 grams per second. So that means I would need 8 gas pumps. Now if I want to go the slickster route, then I'm going to need to make a warm generator room, which means I need steel. That would be much easier than trying to pump out all of the carbon dioxide, because then I'd still need to warm up the carbon dioxide to send it to the slickster room. So this actually won't work. So now that this is almost clean down here, I think I'm going to put in a temporary oil refinery right here with some polymer presses, because I need a little bit of plastic. I want to finish off the central tubing and then get a transit tube crossing right here. That way this is completely isolated from the rest of the map. So I'm going to put in another filter here. Wait, no, that won't work. I'm going to get rid of all of this. And then instead of having parallel filters, I'll have some filters in series here. So first we'll filter out the... whoop. First we'll filter out the water. Then the crude oil can come this way into the refinery, and then the refinery's petroleum can go into these polymer presses. So this first filter will pull out any water, and then the second one will do any crude oil. And then by default, all of the extra ethanol will go on its way back up to here. This appears to be working as intended now. Should be getting some plastic. Maybe I should get a couple more of these. This is kinda taking forever. I don't want to make too much heat down here where I boil all the ethanol again. I'd rather pump it out as a liquid than as a gas. It looks like we're using up a little too much power, so I think, temporarily, I'll put in a single petroleum generator that will use some of this stored up ethanol I have. Now, I don't want it to use up all of the ethanol, so I'm going to control it with a smart battery. And say, if it's ever above 50, we can turn off. And if it's ever below 20, that's when I want this generator to start working. That way I prioritize all of this hydrogen over here. So now this entire bottom section is completely sealed off. The only way in and out is through these transit tubes. Even with this petroleum generator, I still can't keep my batteries charged. So I think I might have to go solar temporarily, or I guess maybe even permanently. I mean, I don't see what else I would use this space for. I do have some glass left. I think I might have to make more over on the other planetoid, because these keep stalling out, so I'm not really making as much plastic as I should be. But I need them to finish this tubing here, so that I can actually get up into the space biome. Maybe I'll have this battery stop making power when it goes up to 80, but still only turn on at 20. That might give me more of a buffer. I'm starting to get some polluted water in this line. So right here, any polluted water will go back out that way. Now there was a recent bug that disallowed wires from being built inside of... okay, yeah, it looks like it's still there. So the way to work around that You have to put the wires in first, and then the solar panels on top of the wires. So now I can put this solar panel on top of these wires, and it powers it perfectly. Just like before. I don't know if this is only a bug on the DLC, or the base game as well. It looks like Lyra here might be the perfect fit. She's got suit wearing and building. So I think I'll be taking Lyra on here, and the first member of the Discord to be promoted to a Patrician was Thunderpig. So, welcome to the base. And I will get you moved to here. Skill you up into suit wearing. And then put you on a schedule with Ren here. I should probably make 2 separate schedules for the 2 planetoids. I might make things a little bit simpler. But I'll do that later. But for now, I have the extra power. I have this area pretty much cleaned up. There's only little bits of ethanol left. I'll deal with those later. I think what I need to do now is expand downward into the hotter parts of the biome. Ooh, am I gonna get 2 dupes in 1 episode? Turner here has suit wearing and supplying. I think I could use him as a runner. And next in line for duplicant naming is Stinky Vote. Let's move you into the base, skill you up to suit wearing, and put you on a schedule with Gosman. It looks like my duplicants hit some pockets that had some high pressure ethanol and sour gas down here. So I've got a lot of cleanup I need to do. And then I've also noticed I'm almost out of water over here. And that's because this has gone dormant on me. So I'm going to put in this pump here to use up this water in the oxygen production. That way I stop pulling from the other map. I think to get all of this ethanol out of here, I'm just going to pump it up to here. And then I'm going to open up this side of the insulation and let this aqua tuner cool off this area. That way the ethanol can condense, and I can pump it up into the tanks with this pump. However, I do need to figure out what to do with all of this saltwater first. I think if I just mop it up and then throw it out over here, it'll turn into steam and salt. And it also looks like Abe here might be the last duplicant I take on for a while. So, Sven, you are now a part of the base. It's gonna take these 2 lonely gas pumps a long time to clear all this out, so I'm gonna put in a bunch more here. I don't understand how it's possible for them to get stuck inside of nothing. I deconstructed this piping, and now they're just stuck. Before I dig any deeper into the oil biome in these 2 sections, I want to get in... It doesn't have to be permanent, but I need a little space designated for the refining process, with a gas pump to keep the pressure low enough. And then I'll just put in a quick little liquid lock like this, and get everything connected up to power. And I only want this pump to work if the pressure in here is too great for the oil refineries to work. So if this is ever above... Yeah, 1000's fine. Now there's no way this water's gonna stay liquid, so I'm gonna get some crude oil in here instead. And then make a little collection tank down here. So the crude oil and petroleum will go up this way, and then we'll filter out the crude oil, send it into here, and then all of the petroleum can link up together. So this petroleum will then be sent over to the plastic production that I want to put over here. Now this needs to be actively cooled. A polymer press can consume 833 grams per second. A single refinery can make 5 kilograms per second. That means I can fit 6 polymer presses off of the 1 oil refinery. And since I plan on having this room actively cooled, I'll throw in some batteries here to stabilize all of the power producers I have here, because I have this one battery controlling this, and then these 2 batteries controlling these generators, and that's it. And I want to try and store some power from all of these solar panels up here. Now, I don't have enough steel to put in this aqua tuner, but I'll put this one in just as a placeholder, so I can map out the piping. So this will keep this area cold enough for lead batteries. I'm kind of running out of refined metals. So now with all of this plastic, I can really finish off the tubing. I kept taking pieces from it to build vents and stuff like that. Okay, I think I've gotten everything I wanted to get done completed. I don't know if I can call the oil biome 100% conquered yet. I'm extracting some oil. I'm using up some of the ethanol that was already here. I've started making some plastic. That way I can finish off the central transit tube. I think the next episode will be me putting in all of the petroleum generators and natural gas generators that this says I need down in this bottom right corner. And then I want to try and get a molten slickster farm going. Maybe down here, where there's no oil reservoir in the way. I still need to figure out what to do about my water problem, but I do have water reserves down here if it becomes an extreme problem. So I think I'm okay. And I've also turned off the bristle blossom farm. That way I don't have to use quite as much water, at least until I can get a petroleum boiler up and running, because then I will for sure be water positive. So there is still a lot of gunk I gotta clean out from down here. This ethanol and sour gas. I may do that between episodes. And another thing I'm planning on putting in is a refining station, or a metal refining station. Maybe up where this ethanol is currently. Once I burn off all this ethanol, I'll have space for it. It will essentially just recapture the heat from the metal refinery using petroleum as the coolant. That way I can make all of the steel I need for a hot natural gas and petroleum generator room. So overall, I think that's pretty decent progress, and I'll mention it one more time. If you would like a duplicate named after you, and you are a member of my Discord server already, just message me the name of the account you subscribed to me on YouTube with, and that way I can double check it and promote you to a patrician. But anyway, thanks for watching, I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next episode.